Hi, it's derpymoose99 here. Welcome to episode 6 of series 2, Banished with megamod 9. So far, I haven't starved anybody to death yet. I'm quite proud of that. I think maybe it's not going to last too long, but you never know. We'll give it a shot. So, a couple things to clean up, actually, quite a list of things to clean up from the last episode. First of all, I would like to apologize for all the confusion I had over the storehouses and the actual stores here in this tiny downtown storage toolbar. I was so excited about the storehouse with the 18,000 capacity that I kind of derped out on that. So I'll try to keep those two straight in my brain going forward. Okay, so I have a fairly big list of stuff here I want to clean up just to start with. So in this stock, we're trading firewood, perfume, linen clothing, and survival coats. Now, if we do our overview here, go into our inventory, survival coats are just coming online, so we don't have any in stock, but our linen clothing is actually at 582. So that one tailor with two people working is actually producing pretty good for us. And the warm coats, which we're not going to trade, just kind of reserve those for the people, are at 149. So overall, our coats are up over 700. So I'm actually just going to change this. Just going to trade a little bit more in the linen clothing here. So that was the first point. Second point was, actually, let's just look at our population first. So I'm way behind that housing, 14 it says there. And we have 295 people, which I'm going to write down right now so I don't forget. Health is good, happiness is good. We have 15 laborers and now we have 11 laborers and 10 builders. Okay, so the first thing was we have enough laborers to activate a few more of these perfume makers. So let's do that. If I can click properly. Okay, the other thing is we put in here, we have a deer butcher producing tallow, which we can turn into candles if we actually had a candle maker. So let's put that in. Sort of fits in there. I think I can look away and make that work. Actually, that was the other thing here. When I click in a building or do any building, the interface sound was kind of loud when I reviewed the video. So I've toned that down, and let me know if that makes any difference. Okay, the other thing to clean up here was, our fish stocks, we're going to do that. Pastures is going to be the focus of our episode here, I think. I want to build out this new town site and get some pastures built and maybe even some dairy production and stuff like that, depending on what kind of animals we get. We've only got chickens right now. Here's our loyal band of chickens down here. Oh, yeah, in my confusion too with the storage and the stores, while I was thinking about it, I thought, why don't we actually put a store in? A feed store. Now, what I want to see here, we can put that right there. So this says it has a capacity of 8,000. So our storage is got, if we look at our inventory, Grace, if you're watching, every time I click that, I thank you. I played for 8 years or whatever, and I didn't know you could change that. Some people's children. Okay, so we've got 8,000 fodder thatch here. So this feed store can hold like almost all of that. So why don't we put that in and see what it collects? Maybe this will help, move some of the clutter out of our other barns. Okay. Our storehouses are still building here. And still building there. Okay, that was pretty derpy of me. Okay, the other thing I haven't built is a domestic animal stable. And I don't have any urgent use for domesticated animals right now, but it's always a good idea to have one. So I think they can use corn or wheat. Man, there's a bit of corn in there. So I'm actually thinking put 2 more greenhouses in. And we already have a couple here on corn, so we'll put maybe 2 more on corn. And we'll put one of our, where are they here? Domesticated animal production. And that's actually, I think, miscellaneous, so We'll have to remember that as well. Just put a road there. Okay, I wanted to look at our amount of reeds that we have here. 15,000 reeds. So we are currently overproducing on the reeds. So we're going to tone this down. And that'll give us a few more laborers as well too. Okay, that's, I think, oh, the other thing I wanted to do is up the tool limit here. We're only at 200 right now, so let's make that 500. And once these blacksmiths are built, we'll turn one of them on and keep 2 in reserve. You don't want to run low on tools. Last episode there was a person walking around for quite a while without a tool, which kind of freaked me out, so I'm going to make sure there's tons of tools. You know what that could be? That person that was without tools, it could be that we didn't have a high enough tool limit and the tools that are in stock aren't distributed all across our stores or our markets. That's the only theory I have at this point anyways. Okay, one more thing here. Yeah, we were quite short houses, so I was looking through the pathing issues, because what triggered me is I noticed this rice field here, and I don't know why I still have these, but they're still here. We are in early winter, and this one is only about 2/3 harvested. So I was starting to look at the pathing, and actually that person's pretty close there, but if you come up here and look at these houses, now these are supposed to be for the forest node here. Like you can see up in this forest node, these people all pretty much work in the forest. But these people are working way the heck down here, like in the docks and in lumber sawmills and stuff like that. So I put 8 houses here, and I think I'll add even more. So I gotta really watch those pathing issues, which in the last series I was really guilty of bungling that. So maybe pause. I'll do some building on the lake, get the fish set up, and get our town site up here started. Okay? Hi, we're back with a brief status update and a bit of a puzzle here. In the last series, Grace left me a question on were my workshops oriented properly. And to be honest, I've used them a ton of times and I didn't really understand the question. Now I think I do, or have a clue. I noticed a few more people running around without tools, and I was really confused by that before. But now I see there's people that are homeless. So what's going on here, just while I was on pause, is I've added 4 workshops, and the intention was to make rope here. And rope will burn through our oversupply of reeds pretty quickly. I also built some dock chicken coops here, or they came up. Now, I've used this orientation with like a chunk of dock down the middle and workshops on the side before. You can see there's homeless people here. So I think that I've never properly understood this before. So I'm going to put a little 2 section in there. And I'm going to do the same here. And I'm going to run this over this way. Okay, and see if that makes any difference. Update on some other stuff here. So our red mulberries, our orchard is growing, but we have no yield there yet. Now Steve dropped me a line and said that I need actually the white mulberries, not the red. So I've been watching for those in the trading dock. I think I'll let this continue to build. I'm just curious now what it actually produces. Our feed store has come up, and I've just keeping the tab open and watching to see what it collects. Now I was hoping this would collect a whole bunch of the fodder and remove it out of the other warehouses and stuff like that, but so far it's collecting construction supplies, which is okay, but I'm just curious how that goes. Okay, I've also up here in our what I call the forest home, I've added something called a dense tree shack. I wanted to try these and see how much they produce. A couple times we've dipped down to around 600 logs, and that means we've got a limit of 800 I think set. Let's have a look here. So that means when we get below 800, these forest lodges start working. So it probably means I need to add another industry trading dock. But before we do that, I wanted to build this dense tree shack just to add a little more production. We'll up the limit to 1,000. Oh, interesting. You can actually put 4 people in here. Okay, and I think we'll make sure, if I haven't done it already, let's clear out the stuff. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that one and see how it produces. Okay, the other thing I noticed is we have a mini hospital here. And there's another one right in the central part of town here. This one here. So those are getting a little too close to where we're working. So I've put another hospital to be built out here. And one here. I'm not sure if that's wise either. That might be too close to some of these paths, but we'll do that for now. Our town site here is built. So I gotta check the number of houses, but let's do our flattening tool. Now there's 2 flattening tools. The power flattening here just destroys everything. The one to the left actually designates everything for removal, and then it'll flatten. So I'm going to flatten quite a wide area here. Okay, so there's a stockpile right here. So laborers will just come in and remove all the resources, put it in the stockpile, and then the area will become flat. So we'll let that run. Okay, so I'm going to run forward a little bit here and just see what happens with the dock, but now I think I understand what Grace was asking about before. I think I might have derped here. Interesting, in other games that I've played that I haven't seen this. I wonder if it's something, if it's a change or I've just been doing it wrong for years. Anyways, we'll go back on pause. Okay, we're back with an update on our situation on the docks here. So I built some connectors across, and all the homeless and all the tools icons went away. So it looks like I've been mismanaging that the whole time. Just getting lucky, I guess. So there's white connectors on the workshops here, so you have to connect those up. Now I didn't quite understand the docks, or the chicken coops here, because they're connected on that side. And interestingly enough, the middle ones here for the chicken coops are now happy too. You'd think they might be isolated, but certainly something to keep in mind. Okay, why are we suddenly out of reeds? We had 15,000 of the friggin' things. Wow, 15 left. You know, that rope, producing rope really burns that stuff up. So I think what we're gonna do is turn these guys back on. Hmm, 15,000 reeds. And I think maybe we'll turn 2 of these workshops down. What we're going to try and achieve is some kind of balance between reed production and usage. You know, maybe to get to the point where there's like a steady 1,000 in inventory or 2,000, something like that. In the meantime, I think we better put a few more of these in. Build queue is down to 30 anyway, so we might as well build it back up. Okay, so one of our blacksmiths built. Iron tools is the default, so I'm going to put that in there, and then these 2, when they come up, will just hold as reserve. We've got 2 blacksmiths, 4 total people, and it's keeping up to the 500 limit at the moment. Okay, our feed store down here still has construction supplies in it and no actual fodder, which is interesting. I might be having another episode where I derp on stores and storage. And, oh yeah, our orchard down here actually produced 2 mulberries last year. But who knew red mulberry orchard would produce red mulberries? Okay, so what we're actually looking for is mulberry leaves. So definitely going to take Steve's advice and go for the white mulberries as soon as they show up. Now up here, we've got a bunch of houses built now, and this is the area that we use the flattening tool on. So you can see this stockpile's got logs and stone and iron ore in it. And the way you tell this is done is you take your priority tool and you outline it. Now, if it comes up as something that you can prioritize, then it still needs to be worked. But if it doesn't, that means it's finished. And then you just use the remove structure here. Okay, so now we've got a nice flat area that we can build our roads out. Like so. And maybe we'll just do a little more removal in the middle. Okay, up here, let me back up a second here. So we've connected our towns up. Oh, I see that hospital's come up too. Let's actually turn that one on. So we've connected the towns together, I think in a fairly good fashion here. Got a nice road coming up through our cheesy dike there. And general philosophy here, I think it's going to be pastures up, moving up, and moving left will be farms and orchards. So to that end, let's just lay a few roads in so we know what we're building to. Now, I'm going to have to check all the boats here because one of them might be carrying what we're looking for, so... trade deer. Yeah, let's wait until the pastures are built before we buy animals. And what do you have? Well, you know what? Let's special order just once. White mulberry seeds. Okay. I would like to get the silk production going. Raspberries. I don't think we have raspberries, and I like raspberries. Okay. Hit the wrong key. Okay, blacksmith, we don't need you right now, so you guys just stay in reserve. So all these houses are built, and let's see if I fixed the pathing problems or what. You know, I guess some of these people just want to live in the forest. Okay, where are we sitting on housing? 3 short. Well, there, that was 3, wasn't it? Okay. Additional reed here. We haven't added on out here for a while, so if we're going to assimilate, we need dark. Okay, another hospital. Now, where's this one? Yeah, I don't think well, maybe I'll turn that one on too. We're getting to that point. Interestingly enough, we haven't had a plague yet. Now, I don't know. I guess that's nomads, eh? Because last episode, as soon as we accepted nomads, we had a plague like at least once a year. Keep your hand away from the nomad button. Okay, now we got pastures here. Take a while. Let's think about our storage strategy here. So let's put a couple of our newly found storehouses. In a stockpile, a road. Okay, and then I think I want to put some specialty, let's see. How about general protein warehouse? And a miscellaneous barn. Okay. And let's kind of see. Okay. Okay, let's go see what that boat was bringing. Nothing important, okay? Now, how are we doing? Okay, I'm building out to these dock fisheries slowly. Let's check and see if we actually need the food. Where are we on our food graph? Not awesome, so why don't we turn one of these up? That'll help with protein in the diet too. Okay, so this one's connected and finished. So let's come in here and add a small storage dock. Now, I'm going to do something here that's sort of just for looks, but I'm going to put there'll be a stair down. And then, where's the lower dock? Okay, this is a lower one segment dock piece. Okay. And then I want to try the fish node strategy, we'll call it. So we'll put 2 houses there. Okay. And how many houses did I say we're short? Just a couple right now. Okay, this was going to be corn. Has our stable actually produced any animals yet? 9, okay. And another reed. Okay. Seems to be enough reeds for the moment. $3.45. Oh yeah, mulberry leaves. There was a trader came by when we were paused, and so I bought 2,000 leaves just because. So what we can actually do with these guys. Yeah, okay, so that was my thought process. So we'll use these 2 silkworm huts that we've built to make eggs, which we're going to need to build more huts. But I won't do that until we have location picked and buildings being built, because I think those eggs get used as food, and I don't really want to risk it. Okay, so here's a thought too. I put a miscellaneous barn in down here, and reeds and flowers are going in it. So I think because flowers were choking up a lot of our storage, I think maybe building some miscellaneous barns and some food barns in a forest node might be a smart idea. That'll force the different products into the relevant barns and more importantly leave room for food to be collected. Or what you could do is just put these awesome storehouses in. That one's 2% full. This one's been the longest here. It's 2% full. Interesting. Okay. Now we have more people here. Let's turn up the rest of the perfume establishment or factory here. Okay. And I put a little proper storage in for this sawmill. They were carrying everything across the river here to this one, so there's now a fuel storage, little log stockpile, and a small fuel stockpile. And I think there's a flattish section of the creek here, so once the town gets a little more established here, I think we'll put a few more of these water wheel sawmills there. Okay, so we need those pastures to build. Kind of excited to get in more into the pastures and really see how a big pasture performs with our mods. Let's let that run. Oh, I noticed too the glass greenhouses weren't building. We'd run out of glass. We had sand. So I turned on our glass maker here. But glass is in the construction sort of limit. And we had a bunch of lumber and a bunch of building supplies and stuff. So I temporarily turned off the lumber production. And I upped the construction limit to 800. So I'm going to keep an eye on this over here. Make sure we don't run out of lumber. But once we've built up a couple of, maybe 300 glass in reserve. Yeah, we only have 40 in it right now. Once we build up, say, 300 for reserves, I'll shut that down and turn the lumber back on, unless we need the lumber earlier. So here's a trader here with more silkworm eggs. You know what? Let's, oh, we've already set that one up. Okay, let's buy these silkworm eggs. It's only 600. And let's put them in storage and then just see if they get eaten or not as an experiment. Okay, I'm going to buy cotton as well. Lamp oil just in case. And nut bread, because, you know, I like nut bread. Okay, my eyes are going, does that say 3060? So that should be 750 and 15, 765. And I missed it because I typed in 8 instead of 6. Do the math right, can't type. Okay. So we'll keep an eye on those eggs. Don't really want to... Yeah, I'm going to buy the flax seeds. Oh, you know what I should have bought? I should have bought the wheat seeds. Oh well. Next time. So let's go back up to our pasture area here. Prioritize it again because I'm impatient. And maybe I'll put some roads in. Be nice to actually do it properly. And let's extend up here. Okay, so what do we have? We had a storehouse, and a stockpile. So let's maybe duplicate that up here. Okay, and let's reprioritize to make sure that's included. Okay, our stone road upon our cheesy dike is built, and you can see, at least on my mind, those people are way faster. And no more tool symbols or homeless. Can't believe I've been doing that wrong for so many years. Just really not that smart. Okay, I don't care about you, you can go away. Okay, how are we doing down here? That one's building. Yeah, we already got the pastures prioritized, so we'll just let that build naturally. But what we can do, let's zoom in on this guy. Stop making everybody seasick. And let's get... Why are you... Oh, not a person, it's the dock. I'm getting jumpy after that whole workshop fiasco. Okay, and then the lower section, like so. Now I suspect houses might not fit so neatly here. So let's put you on that side there. Okay, let's just let that one build and let's go up and have a look at our pastures and be impatient. I suppose what we can do here is put another... Now I'm doing 20 by 20s here. And I want to make sure the actual hut in the pasture is close to the storage here. I kind of planned it that way. Or it was a total accident, not sure. Okay, so there's two more. Let's do the roads before I forget. I brought red mulberry, not white. Carrots, pecans. Do we have pecans? Let's have a look. I like pecan pie. That's one of my favorites. Well, if we have it, I missed it, so I'm gonna buy that. Come back here. And only $6.25, such a deal. Okay, let's have a quick look at our lumber, make sure I'm not derping out on that. $3.76 going down, but we're okay. Okay, our dock small storage is in. Okay, our houses are there, and we have 4 people, we have storage. Our stair and our dock piece have come in, so let's turn this one on. And crank it up to 4. So if I pan back here, if we select it, you should be able to see a circle. So that's entirely in the lake, except for the, the part where I've got the houses and the storage. And of course the dock. So I'm going to guess this is going to be well over 2,000 fish per year. Where your standard fish docks, like if I go down here, this is the vanilla fish dock. That maxes out usually around, say, I don't know, 1,200, 1,500, maybe 1,600. So I really think it's worth doing this if you have the lake real estate to use. You get a lot of fish out of it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build over, over to here. I don't want to put storage in up here because this is in the forest node. In fact, we should probably remove that house. And maybe what we'll do is we'll throw a couple more houses down here to compensate. Okay, so I don't want to build storage up there, but I want to build this over, and I'll put some specialty protein storage or something over here, just in case these small dock storages fill up. Okay, I think a boat came in. Are you set up? You are not set up. bricks, building supplies, homeware, fancy homeware, glass just in case, hull components, lumber just in case. You know what? We've got the lumber shut. Oh no, that'll mess up our inventory numbers. I think we'll just send you on your way. Okay, let's come back up here, do another totally impatient, inappropriate priority. I think let's clear some of this stuff out too. I gave some pretty big clearing orders earlier. I like the laborers to clear everything out so you can actually see what you're doing. Okay. Don't care about you. You know, logs were quite low for a while and we were up over around 5,000 or so. Now we've been doing a lot of clearing, so that's probably why. But I think, where's our build queue? Ha! Our build queue is only 19 builders required. Well, that won't do. So what I'm going to do is I've built an industry supplier, and this one I'm going to build industry trade port. Now the experiment I was doing is counting how many different suppliers came. So this one, industry supplier, there's 4 different merchants that come, and you can customize each one for what you want them to bring. So I believe, and this is just going from sort of casual observation, that this only has 1 merchant associated with it. But the advantage to these ones is you can go up to 8 workers in it, where the suppliers you can only do 5. So I think when your town gets quite large and the traders have to travel a fair distance to pick up material, these might be advantageous. So I'm going to put that one in anyways, and I'll count the vendors just to confirm that. Why is all this down here? Are you good? Oh, you guys are full. That's because we're at 5,000 right now. Okay. We can fix that. Okay, how's our pathing situation, just out of curiosity here? Built a few more houses. Okay, let's see our forest node up here. Okay, gonna have to keep an eye on that because I was really derping out there. All these guys were working down here in sawmills. Oh, maybe that's why, because I turned off the lumber production. Okay, we're 12 short on the housing. So I think the bottom line was I underbuilt in our first town here. And how's our pathing on the dock? Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, okay. Next big housing build, we might maybe put a bunch down here. Okay, there's our new trading port. That was quick. And one of our pastures is up. Okay, let's set this up here. Now, we have 39 laborers, so let's just do 5 for now. And let's bring this guy up here. We were firewood. I'm just gonna mirror that. And perfume was 1,000, I think. Linen clothing 200. And rope, which is worth quite a bit. We'll go for 100. And survival coats. And I think for auto purchase, we'll say when arrival, and go 2,000 logs and 200 stone. And I'm not going to set up the construction until we actually get all the merchants set up. And I don't think we need to buy iron with this dock because we're keeping up on the iron supply so far with 1. Okay, so we'll let that go. But we have a pasture up. So what that means here is we can move our chickens finally to a full-size pasture. Now I think these pastures will work with just 1 person in them, but I like to have 2. Okay, oh, that one takes 133 and this one was 69. Okay, well let's empty this, stop work, and unemploy that person. Okay, now so that's going to produce eggs, I guess, right now until it moves up to the, or fills up to the capacity. That's alright. And eggs I think we can use in bakeries, which we haven't set up yet. Okay, we have another pasture. I'm starting to get tingly here. I think on this episode I'm nerding out about pastures instead of barns. I don't know if that's progress or regression. Okay, we have a fire. In a bad place too. And I bet some idiot didn't build a well here. Now they firefight from the lake, I think. But before we unpause here, that looks like a good spot for a well. Okay, we have 34 laborers. That should be enough to fight the fire. Let's prioritize. And now, did I hear a boat? I did hear a boat. And nothing too exciting there for now. Let's go back to our fire here. Okay, hit the right key. All right. Oh, awesome. I was kind of braced there for the whole place to burn down, which I've had happen before, so only one. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, we got a question mark there. That'll be the dock worker. Yeah, well, we can deal with that here. Let's go. Okay, what do we want to do with this pasture? You know what? Let's keep that. And if we have some animals show up for sale that we want to buy, but we don't have a full-size pasture, we can use this as a holding pen. All right. What do you bring? Okay, I haven't used bronze and copper before, or silver for that matter. So why don't you bring all of that stuff, and we'll figure out if we can do anything with it. I'm starting to think we should build a few more things and then maybe do a summary. What speed are we on? Okay, let's go to 10. Another unnecessary impatient priority. And I guess we can do our storage thing here too. Now, if 6 of those 18,000 capacity isn't enough storage, then I have no idea what would be enough. Okay, another boat. Go away. Okay, let's look through our town hall here. So we're short 6 houses. Now, last ones I built, I think, were in this town here. And we said we were short over on the docks here. So let's, okay, there's our rebuilt workshop. Let's build some more houses on the docks here. Okay, and there's a small school here which is full. So while we're here, let's throw another one in. Okay, back up to our pastures. Okay, I think we'll try the same model here. I like to have patterns to these things, as you might have figured by now. Okay, what do we have here? We had general protein warehouse and a miscellaneous barn. General protein warehouse. Okay, and then the miscellaneous barns were here. And we had it over to the side like that. Okay. Now we're already up to 101 chickens. So I think the mod description for the megamod pasture mod said that it would double growth and double production. So I think that's actually pretty impressive change there. Interesting. Okay, we have probably no reason to sit here and watch that, so let's have a look around here. Another trader coming. Oh, how's our fish doing? 1872. And that's a partial year, I'm pretty sure. We haven't checked food in a while. We're down to 5,000. That could be an issue. Let's turn this fishery on. Nobody in those houses. Perhaps a sign that we have overbuilt. Okay, this is our industry trade port, the one we just built. And this is our first merchant. So we're going to say every visit. Logged stone. And I think we'll go homeware and building supplies. Anything we want to buy? Yeah, not really. I would have bought some stone already. You can go. So that's the first merchant. Now, if that's the only one we ever see, we know this is only one merchant per. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we must have overbuilt housing. No? We're underbuilt. Okay, so why aren't you guys filling up? I've done another dock derpy thing. Look at that, I built those guys one off. Well, I don't really want to... why don't I do that? And then every time I look at it, I'll be reminded of my shame. I'm derping out on the docks. Okay, where are we at here? Oh, longhorn cows. I'm down for that. 7,200. I'm not down for that. We can only buy 4. Okay, I'm not super thrilled with only buying 4. So let's up our inventory here. I don't know if livestock traders take perfume, but let's throw 500 in. 100 rope. 200 survival coats. And what was our other coat? It was linen, right? Linen clothing. Okay, and let's max out this to 5. Okay, I'm going to keep this guy here and see if we can buy some more. So where's our other pasture? Let's go up, have a look. That guy? And longhorn cows. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I was hoping to get some kind of cow. And longhorns I think are pretty cool. Okay, let's do end of episode summary while we're waiting for this trader to fill back up with product. Okay, so underbuilt on housing, of course. And food graph is plummeting. That's not good. That's really making me think. Has this started producing yet? A little bit. Okay, we'll work on some more fish down here. I think we better put some more greenhouses in. And some more rice. I'll do that right now so I don't forget. And we need to start building our farms out here. Okay, so I guess we're at a bit of a cliffhanger here, if I could call it that. I was not paying attention to the food as I should have been. Okay, we got another 500 firewood here. What will that get us? 2,100. We can buy 2 more cows. That would be 450. Okay, we need another 1,800 worth of product there. Okay, and there's our dog. Okay, this is interesting. Why don't we buy those mulberry leaves? Okay, and just out of curiosity, we haven't actually checked lately. Where are we on the eggs here? Okay, we bought 60 and we still have 60. So I'm going to let that sit a little while longer. Especially since we're short on food right now. If those stay around, then my whole theory is wrong and we can safely start producing them. Okay, we're at 416 on the firewood, 440. We need 450. And there we go. Now, if we had another pasture, I'd get one of these trade animals because I haven't tried those yet. I'm assuming what happens is you run a pasture with these. When the pasture fills up, the excess animals become trade items. That's what I'm assuming happens. So we'll do one Not gonna go too crazy on those, but we'll do one for sure when we have the opportunity. But right now, you can go away, and we're checking this guy. Oh, I didn't dismiss him, and you can just go away. Okay, now I wrote down our citizen count this time. At the start of the episode, we had 295. We now have 464, and I would suspect that's why our food disappeared. And again, our food graph is awful. Inventory, let's look by by quantity. Okay, we've got 16 perfumers in, and we still have 26,000 flowers. So I'd assume all that land clearing plus the 4 gatherers huts we've got. Almost 4,800 perfume, which is good. So maybe we're not using up the flowers as fast as I hope, but we're keeping up on the perfume. And linen clothing here, we're sure this is one tailor over here is building a lot of coats. Alright. And the mulberries. Now I wonder if we go back to alphabetic. We're growing the red mulberries. And we only have 2 in stock. Now how much is this produced? 650. Okay, so I guess it's just being used as food, which we won't mess with right now. Okay, next episode will be more nerding out and expansion on the pastures. I want to figure out a good model here that gets us housing and marketplaces and stuff like that, so I need to figure out how I want to position houses here. And as we expand further away from our town center, like what kind of stores and markets do we want? And it's going to be sort of an emergency build here, but we're going to have to slam some farms in here. So I'm going to think about what size farms I want to do. What I initially thought is maybe on one side of the storage and houses here, we'll do like say 15 by 15s, and I think with 3 people. And what I might try down below is say 12 by 12s with 2 people. So those are like more than what that calculator I showed last episode, what it recommends, but my theory is I'm going to stock or have the farms with 1 extra person, and that way if somebody's off doing something, we still have enough people to bring in the harvest. So that's what I want to try when we get all that set up. I think we'll do some more panic builds on greenhouses. We have 200 glass. That's enough, I think, for 4 greenhouses. Let's do that now, just so I don't derp out and forget. Oh, I can't do that because it's not the same dimension. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. I don't like that. Let's power flatten this. And get rid of that road and replace it. Okay, I think that's where we're going to end it here. I hope this is about the right length episode. As always, please leave me questions, comments. You can laugh at me for derping out on the docks there, and also double derp on the docks, I guess. This has been episode 6 of series 2 of Banished with megamod 9, and I am DerpyMoose99. Thank you very much.